Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dead Air Invitational Blood Bowl 2 League. I'm of course Goramoth, and today we are going to be doing the wrap-up for Week 5 of the Invitational. It's been a good week, it's been pretty interesting. As per usual, there will be spoilers in this video. Right now on the screen in front of you, there will be links to the matches that happened this week, so you can go check those out if you haven't already. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about what the teams have done for this week and seeing what exactly has happened. So let's jump into it. So one thing I have to sort of talk about right now is this week's wrap-up is going to be a little bit cobbled together because I fucked up, basically. I accidentally removed the Stage 1 League before we got it all properly recorded and stuff, and there was a whole big mess. I fucked up. I accidentally deleted a league, had to re-add stuff, so we've had to do a bit of editing. So this whole video is going to be a bit cobbled together with screenshots and stuff that I've taken. But yeah, you should get the information for all the stuff, so it should be fine. So let's go over the matches that happened this week and their results. So first up, we have the Balls Well Travelled Chaos team coached by SomekindWizard. They went up against the Alcoholic Gameplay Orcs as coached by Titanscreed. That ended in a 0-1 victory to Titanscreed. The Orcs took it 1-0. Pretty fun match. Any match with Dan tends to be pretty funny anyway, so yeah, that was a good match. The second match of the week, the Tilted Scales, which is of course Greg's Lizardman, or Noximous' Lizardman, went up against Uniform764's Robin's Braves, aka the Bretonians. That ended in a 2-0 victory to the Lizardman. So yeah, again, pretty interesting game. And finally, the last match of the week was the Dragon Tamers, aka Ronith's Chaos team, versus my Wood Elves, Folklore and Fairies. That ended up being a 2-1 victory to Ronith, which cemented his place at the top of the leaderboard. Yeah, some pretty good games overall this week. We got some surprises, I think. Some interesting dice rolling, that's for sure. And yeah, like we said in the wrap-up for last week, this was going to be interesting because it was Decider week, because every single match had the chance to change the leaderboard. So as you can see in front of you, the leaderboard is it's pretty interesting. We've got Ronith in first place still, so he's definitely the guy to beat as we go into the second round robin. For those who don't know, the way the rest of the league will be working is we're entering a second round robin now, which is why you can see in front of you Season 1 Stage 2 right here. So this is the second round robin. This will be the last round robin. We're going to add, once we finish this round robin, we'll add the two sets of scores together from the first round robin and the second one, and the top 4 positions will go into an elimination bracket, which we think will be played as a I think it's called both ways, which is basically you play a match in each single match. You play a match home and a match away, and then add the scores together to see who wins. Because we felt in the elimination it would be a bit harsh if it was just single match of Blood Bowl. So, but we didn't. We were thinking like a best of 3 might be a bit too much. So yeah, we're just going to do. I think it's called both ways or something. Is the thing. So yeah, let's jump in and see what the teams have done with their their winnings and their SPP and all that kind of stuff. Alright, let's start with Ronith's team, since he's head, Dragon Tamers. So as you can see, he has a pretty nice bank of treasury here, 140k, so almost Minotaur money if you wanted to. Other than that, he's got a lot of options. Oh, that's a headless. Dr. Lord had no head. So, let's have a look. Upper grade wise, he's still light on his Chaos Warriors, but Dr. Lord and Quantum Bob have got an SPP this time, which is pretty good. I'm pretty sure Quantum Bob didn't have any before. Neon Jack is still struggling, but Syntax Terror has managed to level up and get block, which is good. It's a start. He's finally starting to get his Chaos Warriors to be more than what they started, which is pretty nice. Radical Robin has leveled up to level 3. I'm pretty sure this is new. So I think he's taken Sure Hands, yeah. So this guy is the ball carrier through and through now, with the extra arms and the Sure Hands, which allows him to reroll pickups. In addition, Strip Ball won't work on him. So that's very useful. That is pretty much Ron's dedicated ball carrier now. PJ Switch has also hit level 3, which is pretty scary, and he's taken block. So Mighty Blow block, yeah, that's nasty. McDonald the 5th. He's so close to hitting 3. I think this guy was already low, though. This is the kicker, right? No, this is strip ball. Okay. I think that might be new. I don't remember if he had strip ball on McDonald's before, but yeah, that's there now if it wasn't before. And then Mighty Blow and Eagle Eye the Blind was already there. He had the double Mighty Blow, guys. His SPP game as Beastman is pretty damn good. I mean, Agent Primetime is on 0. St. Jack the Grim is on 0. Everyone else has at least some. So, I mean, an MVP on any of these Beastmen would level them up, which is pretty great. So, Ronith is doing A-okay. Quick loaded staff. Nothing new there. I guess he could buy another reroll, go up to 4. 4 might be reasonable. He's also got 4 fan factor now from his wins, which is pretty damn good. Yeah. Ronith has a really scary team, to be honest. Alright, next up, Tilt Scales. Okay, Noximous is Lizardman. Let's see. So Crazy Eyes is still on 15 out of 16, which is unfortunate. A pass will do it, but he's stunty, which means passing with him is harder. Little Sprinkles has new stuff, I believe. Yeah, Catch, that's new. So, yeah, he's taking Catch. So he can make passing plays to Little Sprinkles, I guess. Interesting choice. I'm not sure if Catch would be my choice, personally. But, yeah. I'd probably go something like Block, just to make it so they're even harder to knock over. Or Show Hands to prevent strip balling, and also make it easier for them to pick it up. Doug is on 5 out of 6 because he got an MVP, which is kind of funny. Greg was not happy, but yeah, Doug is on 5 out of 6. Still not leveled up though. Pirate Ryan's 5 out of 6. Block on 3 Sauruses. I think that was the case before, but even if he definitely had block on 2 of them for sure. But yeah, another block on the Saurus. Pretty standard stuff, and all his Saurus have SPP. So these guys, Cage Carl, Chinless Chuck, and Licky Lucky Larry, if they get an MVP, bam, level up. So it's pretty good for Greg overall, to be honest. Staff-wise, 3 rerolls, Apothecary, yeah, standard stuff. Alright, I'll call it Gameplay and Orcs. This Titanscreed, he's got 90k in the bank. He's also up to 12 players because, yeah, well, he's been up to 12 players for a while. His Black Orcs, all of them got SPP, which is really good for him. Sure, they haven't leveled up yet. Maybe a little bit disappointing they haven't leveled up yet, but again, any of these guys gets an MVP, bam, instant level up on all 4 of them. Well, you know what I mean, not at the same time. But yeah, any of them get a level up, MVP, they'll level up. Resident Evil G&T Virus has Mighty Blow now to go with his block. I think he might have had that before, but I don't remember. Tackle is new, pretty sure. So Gin and Tonic the Hedgehog has Tackle now, which is actually really... I was thinking about it, but I didn't realize... let's look at Tackle. So players are standing in the player's tackle zones and are not allowed to use their dodge skill. They dodge, nor may they use dodge if the player throws a block at them. I wasn't aware of the second part of that one. I didn't realize it counts the dodges in when you block as well, which is makes it a lot better. Like, it's still good, don't get me wrong. So that is actually a really solid choice. It means it's easier for him to knock over Skinks. It's easier for him to knock over War Dancers. You know, it's easier for him to knock over my elves in general because I have a few dodges on that team in general now. It makes it harder for me to dodge away, or harder for Greg to dodge away from that guy. So yeah, that guy's going to be like... I imagine something like Guard on this guy next, when he levels up next, if he does. Because, you know, you want him to be like in the centerpiece of the line kind of thing, holding it down. Earthwind Gen Catch. No, we went over this before. That's not new. Cool. So that's about it in terms of thing. He went up to 4 rerolls, which I don't think we covered. But if we did, yeah, he's still on 4 rerolls. So yeah, some pretty interesting stuff. So the next team, Sir Robin's Braves, which is of course Uniform764's team, is one of the two most radical changes we've had so far. If we look at the team roster, we can see that he is down to 8 players. And there's a reason for this. So Uniform764, I believe, is currently in second last place, is in 5th place. And I want to point out that all the teams are still in this. There's even the people who would like a bottom thing, they could still totally make playoffs. It is not unreasonable. But Man's feeling like he needs something to do that. He feels like his team is struggling, and to be fair, in the last few matches they have been struggling. So he's going for it. He's making a radical change to see if he can turn his season around, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. He's going for the after like people have played a lot with Bretonians, they're starting to sort of feel like blockers aren't that useful, and instead having more linemen with fend is a smarter idea. Whether or not this is actually true, you decide for yourself, but that seems to be the general feeling with Bretonnians. So Madden is doing a late game switch. He's fired all his blockers, except the guy who's leveled up and is almost level 3, because yeah, don't want to get rid of that. That's so much wasted XP, and the guy's got guard, so he's actually still pretty useful. So yeah, he's fired all his things, so he's down massively. I just want to check his team value. Yeah, so his team value is dropped to 860. He's going to get 3 journeymen, which will be more of these peasants or linemen. And he's going to play like this. One unfortunate thing he has going to the next game, even though he's made this radical change, is the Blitzer has a smashed hand, so he's not in this game. So unfortunately, Madden's going to be playing a Blitzer down, so he's actually going to have 4 journeymen. So it's a bit unfortunate because 4 journeymen makes it even... I mean, it's still, based on pure statistics, it's still more likely to get an MVP. He has 7 players of his own, so he's more likely to get an MVP on one of those 7 than he is on the 4 journeymen, but still, MVP going on a journeyman kind of stings. But he's going to get a whole bunch of money. He's not going to care about those 4 journeymen. They're peasants with fend and they're journeymen, so they're like basically fodder. And he's going to see if he can play like that. So he's going to have an insane amount of inducement cash. Like, we're talking like probably like 300k every game, give or take, until he like actually gets some more players back in. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm really interested to see if this works out for him. I think it's really cool that he's like taking a punt like this. That he's like, he's decided he needs to make a radical change to try and come back, and it's cool. I commend his balls. Staff-wise, yep, still 3 rerolls, still 1 Apothecary, standard stuff. Alright, Folklore and Fairies, aka my team, Wood Elves. We're doing okay. We got another level up. I think the only new thing is we got another level up on alignment, so we have dodge again. Nothing new, really. Yeah, just dodge. That's basically it. If I don't still 1 off. Jack is on 9 out of 16, he got a touchdown. But what's kind of nice, if I have a whole bunch of guys who are like close to leveling as well. So 5 out of 6, 5 out of 6, 5 out of 6. There's 3 guys on 5 out of 6, and then the other don't on 15. So I mean, if one of those guys gets an MVP, bam, level up. I can also make passes in the game to level them up, which is I'm gonna try and do. I mean, I said I'd do that last week, but if you watch the game, it didn't quite work out for me that way, but it happens. I'm still down a player, but that's normal for me at this point. With 70,000, I was hoping I'd win a little bit more money, because hitting like 90, I think it's 90,000 I need, I'll check. I want to get a catcher, because they start with catch, dodge, and sprint, and that's just kind of useful. Yeah, 90,000, so I need another 20,000, so I might buy a catcher next week, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much the same, like staff-wise, still 3 rerolls, throw 1 Apothecary. So yeah, that's the state of my team at the minute. Nothing super exciting, just an extra dodge. Okay, so the last team is Dan's Balls Will Travel Chaos team. This is another one who's made this is way less radical than Madden's or Uniform's like choice, but you can already see in this team picture, he's got himself a Minotaur. Let's take a look. So yeah, the manly prince of parties joins the battlefield, or well, I guess it's technically not a battlefield. Joins the playing field, I guess would be more accurate. So yeah, we got a Minotaur on the field. Spent all his money on it, pretty much. Got 10k left. So takes it up to 12 players. So ups his thing. The main issue Dan's having is well, let's look at his level ups. So this Chaos Warrior's Drunkest ever leveled up twice. Extra arms he already had, but he's also got sure hands now. So Dan is doing the similar thing to Ronith, making a dedicated ball carrier. The difference is Dan's is slower, but strength 4 and armor 9. So it's a bit more intimidating to take down. Block on this guy. I think he had that before. Block on this is my favorite song. Also had that before, but the problem with this guy, he took a really nasty injury. He smashed his collarbone and lost a point in strength. That's just 3 strength Chaos Warrior. It's actually a really difficult choice for Dan whether that guy stays or not. I mean, he's leveled up, but 3 strength Chaos Warrior, that is a tough choice. Beastmen are still, sitting on a bit of SPP. These guys could level up from an MVP. These guys run 0. This guy's on 0. This guy's on 0. Like, Dan is not doing well for SPP on his Beastman, unfortunately. But we can see you've got 2 more injuries here as well. One of these is the niggling. It might be this one. No. So Dan is down a player this game because just the worst one has a fractured arm, so he's missing the next game. Doesn't matter though because he's at 12 players, so that'll just drop. Basically, just replaces a Beastman with a Minotaur. And a Woo is probably the niggling, I'm guessing. Yeah. So yeah. So the new ones are like he's down a Beastman. The big one is like this Chaos Warrior and 3 strength. It's really unfortunate. But it happens. This is Blood Bowl. Staff-wise, still on 2 rerolls, still on 1 Apothecary. Not sure about the 2 rerolls. Basically, he's gambled on buying the Minotaur rather than buying more rerolls. So whether that was the right thing to do, that is, I don't know. I guess we'll see in 5 weeks' time. So yeah, that pretty much covers the changes to the teams this week. I will be getting a couple of the coaches in, and we will be talking about the week 6 matchups, how we think they're going to go, and we'll also, I've got all the coaches in. We're going to talk about how we feel the rest of the whole round robin's going to go. Like, what are our predictions 5 weeks from now? What do we think like the leaderboard's going to look like then? So that'll be pretty interesting. Alright, I'm back with some of the coaches at least. We've got Titanscreed, Ronith, and SomekindWizard.
Hello.
Hey,
And we're going to be talking about the predictions for next week. As I mentioned before, we had a bit of an issue with league stuff. I accidentally deleted the league, as I said before, so we've already recorded this, but then, like, obviously the week 1 matchups have changed for it, so this is the second time through, so, this time we've got, the new sort of week 1 lineup. It's almost the same as the first week, like, the actual first week.
Except, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
It's Chaos versus Chaos, so Balls Will Travel versus Dragon Tamers, which was the first week matchup. And then I'm up against Greg, so Wood Elves versus Lizardmen, and then the final matchup is Robin's Braves against Orcs. So if we swap like me and Dan and Greg around, that'd be the first week's matchup.
Yep. But that singular change.
Yeah.
I played Ronith in week 1.
Did you? I thought the Chaos played.
Yeah, no, everyone's
No,
changed. It's actually everyone's.
Oh, that's my bad then. I thought Chaos played in week 1. Right. So let's start with the first matchup: Chaos versus Chaos.
Oh, god damn it.
I mean,
In a way, it's going to be interesting because I have a Minotaur and a shitty Chaos Warrior,
Yep.
and you have a pretty well leveled up team, but you don't have much in your Chaos Warriors, if I remember rightly.
Ironically, well, I use this in the sort of lightest possible, but the Chaos Warriors are the weakness of his lineup. In the most inverted of commas.
they're not exactly bad because
Yeah, they're not bad.
I started to get SPP on like all of them, so if they get an MVP, they pretty much level up.
Yeah, that's
Except
what
for Neon Jack, he's letting everyone down.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like I'm saying, like you'll beat all the level ups for you are on your Beastmen, and so your Chaos Warriors are technically bad because they haven't had any new skills or anything like that, but they're still stat line Chaos Warriors. So
Yeah, there's still 4 strength and 9 armor value, so
Yeah,
they
the
can take
main-
a lot of those.
the main thing will be if Dan can punish you, because Dan has block on a few of his Chaos Warriors. Like that could potentially punish you pretty badly.
I basically need to hold the line and hope that my Minotaur doesn't do a Big Doug impression, and then I should be okay. I think that this is going to be like a 1-1 draw.
It's really interesting that we now have 2. We've gone up to 2 big guys in the league now from having only 1.
Yeah.
This is part of the thing of everybody. Some people are making radical. Like I believe it is the 2 bottom in the league overall that have done really radical changes to their
Yeah,
team.
it's cool. It makes it exciting. We'll talk. Like I've already mentioned that earlier in terms of what Uniform's done. Because obviously with the wrap up before. But yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get to that matchup. But yeah, like Dan's bought a Minotaur. Madden's done some housekeeping, I guess.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I'm excited. You guys are trying, and that makes me so happy.
What excites me the most about Chaos v Chaos right now is that our Chaos team just looks different, and
Yep.
that's funny.
Yep.
Like, it started Chaos v Chaos, we're just like, fucking time to pray that we have the better dice! And
Yeah,
it didn't go that way. And now this time it's like, I need to play differently.
Yeah. It's like
I think
your Chaos Warriors are my targets.
I think you're both getting comfortable into your team now as well. Like
Yeah.
this is the second round robin. Like I feel like everyone has. I'm not going to be like we're masters of our team now because that's not true. But it's like we're all more comfortable with our team. Like,
Yes.
So
Yes.
that it'd definitely be interesting seeing this like rematch, especially since it doesn't seem like it, but I personally think there's actually a lot on the line here because in terms of if Ronith wins, it's not that big of a deal. But if Dan wins, it actually is good for every other person in the league except Ronith.
Indeed. Well, I mean, if I lose, it's gonna be bad for me.
No, yeah, but
I see what you mean.
no, what I mean is like because you're ahead in wins like that, like and Dan's bottom. So in theory, like again, we talked about this before, but even though Dan can in theory still make playoffs, it's totally possible. You could definitely make playoffs if stuff goes your way.
Yep.
In theory, the one win against Ronith isn't that important to you. Like,
to me, honestly, it feels like every win is important because the one, like,
yeah, that's true.
I don't want like that sword hanging over my head. It's like another loss and I'm out.
Yeah.
Like instead, I would rather just win and keep on winning. You know how it goes.
No, yeah, that's true. But I'm not afraid. I'm struggling with the words of this. But what I'm trying to say is like, say you beat Ronith now, but then lose the rest of your games. Oh, that would suck, obviously, for you. But that one win to you then wouldn't mean anything really. But it would mean so much to the rest of us because you would have you would have added another loss to Ronith. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's kind of interesting because if Ronith wins, everyone's sad, and if Dan wins, everyone except Ronith is happy.
Yeah. So everyone's cheering for Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ronith.
Everyone loves an underdog, and I'm as underdog as it gets right now, especially compared to you. I mean,
especially with your like insanely erratic plays as well.
Yeah.
I as I said, I play for fun.
Like
it brings me
I'm
so much joy.
like every time you make to play like that, I'm like honored to just watching it. It's like,
I'm jealous. I
honored.
wish that I could be watching.
I would be honored if you did a play like that towards me.
It'll probably happen.
Probably
Certainly. I hope that I just do something absurd and like a touchdown with a Minotaur or some goddamn nonsense.
Well, I mean that is the best way to level a Minotaur up because as I feel like at this point everyone should know in this league, despite the fact that certain people keep complaining about it, injuries don't actually happen that often.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Like, so like actually trying to power level someone with injuries, like unless you've already leveled them and gotten them abilities to do it, you were like actually reliably injuring people is actually kind of tricky. Like,
I mean, I've got comments on my YouTube going, God, I bet you can't wait till you get the elves of Basham, and I was like, you'd think it goes like that, but no, it really doesn't. And he's like, really, you should be killing them. Like, I'm not even gonna respond.
It kind of makes sense though because
it does. But
all the bashers are like most of the time like quite good coming out of the board, like good stats and whatever.
Chaos are
leveling
the
them
exception, though.
They have good stats.
They do, but they don't have skills, and skills are the important thing.
You can't,
definitely. But like that's the weak part of Chaos is that getting SVP can be very difficult. But when you do get that SVP, goddamn, be scared.
Yeah. It seems we have a Noximous who's joined into the call.
Hello. Oh, hello.
It's fine. We're just talking about the week matchups. We're just talking about the first one of the week, which is Chaos versus Chaos at the minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm commenting. It's God, where is it? Let's see here. If it ever loads, here you go. When you get an elf team, just play as bashy as possible. I bet you'll have the most kills. Okay. Oh, how I wish it were true. It'll be terrifying. Their body glitter will fly as fast as the punches.
Well, the thing is, right? So, like, I don't even remember what I was it 3-0 to me against you, Dan?
No.
Something like that. Basically, the thing is with the elves is I'm just going to as the match has already happened, but it's like I just minimize the blocks you get to throw, and the blocks you do throw, like that's what a lot of people don't sort of think. Like armor 7 for elves, like they're just like, yeah, that'll break no problem. But like even armor 7, which I believe is the lowest you can have in the game, I don't think you can have armor 6 without like injuries and shit. But armor 7, you still have to roll above average to break it.
Sure.
So it's That's why I don't get why people obviously it will eventually happen because of just amount of blocks, but that's why the elf won't let you get that many will try to not let you get that many blocks in.
That's the main part. Like, elves are not going to try to be in tackle zones.
That's why the elf screen exists.
Okay.
Alright, so Pete, how are you feeling about this matchup, the Chaos Showdown?
I think it's going to be interesting to watch because, as you rightly mentioned, it's going to be two vastly different teams now. I think Ronith's got two very, very deadly beastmen right now.
That
but
is
I'm going to wonder how the
true.
Minotaurs are going to come into play as well.
Radical Robin and PJ Switch.
Dan has a ball carrier though, which is good.
Yep, I do. I have a linebacker.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how I have a beastman who has extra arms and sure hands, and he has a chaos warrior with the same skills.
Yeah, it's just a much buffer line, man.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm ready to hold the ball, and then you look up at the guy who's a couple of heads taller than you, and he goes, I too am ready to carry the ball.
He's just a brick wall.
Yeah.
So how are we feeling? What are we thinking for actual scoreline for this kind of
1-1.
game? 1-1. I think 1-1. I think 1-1 or like a 2-1 if someone fucks up.
I think.
But it's
Are you
not-
saying 2-1 to Ray?
I think if Dan didn't buy the Minotaur, it would be a substantially different game right now.
Yes.
But unless he goes for a substantial
Have you also
substantial
got,
case of Doug-itis, then I don't know,
shit.
it would have been Ronith's game. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 game.
Have the Chaos been sharing a locker room with the Lizardman? Could go badly.
Doggitus.
1-1 seems likely
Yeah.
because neither. So Dan goes for throwing plays, which Ronith tends to not as much, at least. Ronith tends to take it in slowly, which is fine because that's what your team does. So I mean, I feel like it's just going to be 1-1 unless Dan just does like.
It's going to be on the throw. It's going to be
throw or intercept. Like.
It's going to be on the throw, missing, hitting, or intercept.
It's gonna be one of those skill shots of like the throw misses, lands on a dude, bounces into the guy's hands anyway.
Bounces out of the pitch and then goes straight the other way.
Yeah, I reckon 1-1, but yeah.
1-1 is likely, 2-1 is possible.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable to say.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be a very high-scoring game.
No.
All right, let's move on to the second matchup of the week, which is of course Wood Elves versus Lizardman. We actually have the Lizardman coach now.
Yeah.
Hello.
How do you feel?
I mean, he wants to kill Jack.
Well,
Yeah.
but how do you feel towards this match, other than killing Jack?
I feel like I don't know.
It was a
Because-
it was a real grind down last time we played.
It
Like
was.
it ended 1-0, and that
1-0.
touchdown took so much effort to do.
Yeah.
Like that was a real
Like-
grind down game.
I can't remember what happened as to why I didn't get the touchdown. I think I did some fuck up, which meant you got the ball.
I managed to just delay. I was sort of like make it so your guys were moving the ball like extremely slowly rather than your usual break free and run. And then
I think in the end I was like, YOLO, run the skink, hope for the best, and you just were like, get him. So I don't know. This game is probably going to be close again.
Technically, it's easier for me to get the ball off you this time because both my war dancers have strip ball, and I don't believe anyone on your team has show hands. So
no.
So your ball carry, it's a lot because the main issue when you start fighting against skinks is knocking them over is really annoying.
Yeah.
And so making them drop the ball can be really annoying, but it's a lot easier for me because now anything other than an attacker down will do it.
Yeah, I just I think I'm just gonna have to protect them better and go about it just in a far more generic bashy team way and just fucking cage up and hope for the fucking best.
You do have block and a couple of Saurus, so
Yeah,
Yeah, the block is useful.
it'll be alright. But I don't know. It's gonna be a long, grindy match again, I think, and it just depends on whether Josh can get some breaks out or whether I can get some breaks out or wound vast quantities of his team and actually get something off it this time.
I mean, if I get diced as bad as I did last week, you're gonna
Fingers
roll.
crossed.
I mean,
I don't know. I think it's going to be 1-1 or 2-1 probably.
I would like it to be like 2-1 to me. That would be nice.
I would prefer if it did go 2-1 that it was to me, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I'm just thinking, I don't know. I just don't know because of how grindy the last game was between us.
Yeah, it's just going to be...
That was a really good game. It was so fucking tense.
I am going to switch t-shirts before we play because I realised that, like, the first game I played, which was against Dan, and I crushed him into the ground, I was wearing my Little Skittles t-shirt.
Oh my god, you actually... He's become a true Blood Bowl player. He's even developing superstitions. I'm lucky.
Yeah, and I'm going to switch to that t-shirt, and maybe it will give me the lux.
Maybe it will. Alright, so anyone else got any comments about this matchup?
Look, I'm still a firm believer that Big Doug is going to come out and just become the star player of this league. I want him to succeed.
I mean, you said that every week, and every week it gets a little bit dimmer.
Know,
Well, no, to be fair, last week he wasn't entirely worthless.
Yeah. And
He was just
MVP.
mostly worthless.
He got MVP as well, so I mean, the people must like it.
Somehow he got MVP. It is clearly evident that MVP is not based on any actual...
Of course it's not, it's random. It's entirely random. We've
We
been
all
over
know
this.
this, but I mean, if we didn't know that, it would have become evident at that point that MVP is based upon nothing.
Alright, so let's look at the last matchup of the week then, which is the Bretonnians versus the Orcs. This one's interesting because, as I said earlier, Madden has basically done a full house cleaning of his team. He's got rid of 3 of his 4 blockers. The only reason he kept the last blocker is because that guy leveled up and has guard and shit. So Madden's team value is artificially low. He's just going to get a bunch of linemen, and he's trying to like radically change his team to hopefully do well in the second round robin, which I think that's pretty cool that he's like just YOLO all in because he's like, fuck it, need to do something to recover.
Let's switch
He's
it up.
also missing his blitzer.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Pete.
Thank you.
Have that one for free.
What happened last time you guys played? I don't remember.
Me and Madden.
Yeah.
He found a way to break through my line and scored many goals against me. I will go and find you the result of that game right now. Actually, I'm not looking forward to it.
I mean, you've had like in the original lineup for first week, you're up against me, and now you're up against Madden. So it's like you just haven't. Either way, it's not good. You haven't had a matchup you wanted.
But I wasn't giving you 310k in inducements.
That's true. Madden's definitely gonna have a wizard.
I only gave you 100k.
Actually, I feel like he should. I feel like he should probably go star player rather than a wizard. To be honest.
The annoying thing with that is
I don't know which star players Bretonnians can have.
Madden 1-1-0.
1-0. Okay.
Yeah.
The annoying thing with star players is because it automatically induces schmucks for you. I don't know if buying a star player would replace one of them.
It doesn't. It's like you have a. It's like you have a.
You'll get what will happen is he'll get enough of his linemen to fill his team up to 11, and then he gets the option for inducements. So he'll have a 12th player basically.
Which is fine because it is fine because he's got the majority of his team now is peasants. So I mean, the second one of them gets KO'd, he has it's a journeyman, but it's another body on the pitch. And as we've learned over these weeks, bodies on the pitch is super fucking important.
Yeah.
And I feel like what he's going to do is rerolls and maybe a Bloodweiser Babe, rerolls and a Wizard. I feel like that's what Madden's going to do. I personally think he should maybe think. I'm not basing this entirely on a lot of fact because I don't know which star players Bretonnians have access to. I
think what should happen is Madden should just concede, give me the 2-0 victory. I get 100 and something plus gold, and then I invest in stadium upgrades, and then I win the league because I've got to win over Madden then, and I go higher.
That doesn't sound like what Madden should do at all.
No,
It does to me. It does to me.
I just feel like he should buy the star player because I know like what'll probably happen is the star player will get a bunch of SPP for doing stuff, and that's technically a waste. But at the same time, it'll give Madden a win, and at this point, I mean, through the whole thing, every win has kind of mattered. But especially now we're into the last 5 weeks of the round robin, every win matters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he should just YOLO a star player and just be like,
Just go balls deep.
yeah, just buy a fucking star player and just use that star player. Like, sure, it's wasting SPP, but at this point, it's like you need the wins. Like, you don't have time to like farm the team up.
That's true. It's very true.
That's what I would do. I'd buy a star player. An actual like scoreline for this game, I reckon it's gonna be like it's just gonna be close. I think it's gonna be like 1-1, 1-0.
You've got to remember, I have a goblin since the last game now. I didn't have a
true.
goblin last time I came against Madden, and all I need to do is I just need to perfect the super cage.
Yeah, I was
That's all
gonna
need
say,
to-
which is the Pete patented super cage will probably come out again.
It's a beautiful thing to witness.
It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I don't.
It's going to be a very low scoring game. Very.
Just like basically every match in our league.
I reckon it'll be
None of his dudes have
0-0.
no, it'll be like
Really low scoring.
really low scoring. No, I reckon it'll be
Just
like
I would love to just suddenly see like fucking draw after draw, and I'm the only one winning games. Like, I can't progress though because no one's losing.
I've got to remember that his blitzes have Dauntless, though. That's going to be...
Yep, they're a lot better at taking out your blocks.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a plan. I have a plan.
The big advantage you have is you have skills. Matt is really struggling with his.
Yeah, he is.
So, I feel like this is either gonna go 1-1 or it's gonna go 2-0. Like, I don't think it'll go like 1-0. I think it'll be 1-1, like each person scoring in their drive, or someone will like one team will score in their drive, and then the other team will like get bad luck or fuck up or something in their drive, and the other team will score again. Like, I don't.
I just need good luck, and I need to knock out all of his players. Fine. Done.
Easy.
Yeah, easy, mate. Easy.
Easy game, easy life.
Easy game. Easy
They're only
Don't
armor.
have Doug on your team.
Heart of the cards, luck of the dice.
They're only armor 8, so that means they get knocked out all the time, according to
Yeah.
people who think injuries happen all the time.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, they did not my match versus Dan last week.
I mean, they did
Sorry,
versus
Dan.
my elves versus Ronith last week did not go well for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it happens, and they moved on. Alright, so
I'm
any...
excited to see where it all goes.
Yeah, I am. Any final comments on the week in general, or anything like that before we wrap up? And
I feel that this is either going to be like the lowest scoring week that we've got, or it's going to be the most unfortunate bloodbath ever. And I'm kind of excited about both. I would be much more excited about an unfortunate bloodbath for everybody, but also seeing just an entire league of draws would be very funny.
so kind of like, oh, you're saying draw. So like you're thinking it's like maybe the return of the 0-1 week?
It's either going to be like 0-1s or draws, either 0-0 or 1-1. Because I think that also we've all gotten a lot less retarded. We're going to let like less stupid, easy goals that we should have expected through.
Yeah.
And the only occasion where someone's going to get more goals through is going to be by either misfortune befalling them or them causing a bunch of like brutal injuries. Like, we're just not as stupid as we used to be, so I feel like we know what to generally expect, especially since we've been up against each other before. Sure, there have been changes to roster, but it's not like we haven't been able to watch each other play.
That's true. We have played everyone now in the league, so
Yeah,
we
we've
probably have an
played
idea of
everyone,
what to
and
do,
we've
yeah.
watched everyone play other people as well. So yeah, I honestly feel it's either going to be like a score per drive or no scores at all, or there are going to be lots of goals, but at the cost of fucking massive injuries.
I don't know. I sort of agree, but I don't necessarily agree because it's also about... It's about how well you can dissect your opponent's defense and pick it apart.
Yeah.
Because it like even if you have a quote unquote perfect defense, it's still breakable. It just requires a lot of thinking and maybe a little bit of luck from one of the sides. So I don't necessarily agree that the only way it's not going to be draws is a bloodbath. It's like it basically depends on how well the person can analyze the defense setup and pick it apart.
Indeed.
which is something I've been practicing a lot as elves, because that's literally what I have to do in every drive I don't have the ball.
You have to do it in a lot of teams, though. Like, elves are just different, because they have, like...
No, but what I mean is,
not
like, I have to specifically look at a defense and go, where is the weakest point in this? Whereas you guys can be like, alright, that corner's kind of weak, punch it. Like,
well, it's different in defense, is what I mean. Like, for example, my team has all, like, strength 3, and we're like, pretty good at bashing and stuff like that, but we're not as fast as elves or skinks. So I have to spread myself out more, because I can't reach certain parts of the pitch.
I'm just talking specifically though about like when a team is pushing with the ball, how you break that apart and get the ball back. That's specifically what I'm talking about. Because Dan was basically saying the only way that'll happen. Well, Dan was implying that he feels the only way that it will happen is that just an unfortunate bloodbath will happen. Whereas I was saying I feel like a bloodbath could totally happen, but I also feel like it'll be about whether the player can analyze the defense properly and find a hole. Because there's always a hole.
Yep.
It might be like a tiny, tiny, tiny little mouse hole, but it'll be...
Bless you.
Thank you.
Alright, so I think that about wraps it up for this week's wrap-up. The new round robin has me excited. It's going to be really interesting because, like, we've all been theorizing, like, this thing is still wide open. No one is out of this yet. Even Dan in last place could still end up, like, potentially first if, like, shit goes really bad for Ronith. So...
And trying to defeat him now is just step one to fucking road.
I'm far happier about being against Ronith in my last match than I am against
I haven't even looked at
first.
the rest of the schedule I have.
I haven't even looked at the rest of my schedule. I kind of don't want to.
I'm not looking at the rest of my schedule. I want to be surprised each time. Don't if I'm against you.
Alright, we'll catch you guys later then.
Peace.
Peace out.
Alright, so let us jump into our long-term predictions. I'm going to go to the leaderboard from Stage 1. So, as you've already seen in this video, this is the current state of the leaderboard after the first round robin. So, going quickly through it again, we have Ronith at the top with 401. I'm at second with 302. Then we have a tie for third place, which is the Lizardmen and the Orcs at 212. Fifth place is the Bretonians at 203. And finally, in last place is the second Chaos team at 104. That is the current standings based on the first round robin. So, I will go through, obviously you can discuss and stuff, but go through you guys one by one, and I want a prediction from everyone, how you feel, like, based on what's happened so far, and thinking about what could happen in the next 5 weeks, where do you see the playoffs being? Like, what do you see happening? Who do you see making it through to the playoffs? Like, that kind of thing.
So you just want our top 4, who we think...
Yeah, who you think will make top 4, maybe positions if you want to do that, like, just, like... Do you think, for example, Ronith can keep up these wins and just steamroll through and retain his first place, or do you think something will happen? Like, yeah, just predictions for how you guys feel the rest of the league will go.
Sure.
Who wants to go first?
I reckon unless Ronith has a catastrophic game and gets his key players fouled and killed to death,
hopefully
he's easily in the top 4. There's not a lot anyone can do about it.
And 4 wins is pretty solid. Like,
you basically have to lose every game.
Even if Dan like wins all the entire, like, because I'm just looking at the thing. Even if Dan wins all of the second round robin, that only puts you 2 wins ahead of Ronith.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you my predictions. I guess last. I'm the least invested technically in victory now, but you better believe that's not going to change how I approach my games.
Yeah, but how do you, I don't mean like how do you feel the rest of the league will be at that point? Like, if you feel you're finishing last, what's the rest of the league look like?
Okay, I believe that it's going to be... Heck, I'll give you the top 4 in order. It will be Ronith, Josh, Greg, and then I'm torn between Orcs and Bretts. I think Orcs, just because Madden has a lot of punching to go through. I think he might have a trip up in the coming times. And that's where I would say the top 4 are.
So you basically
I feel like there is...
The same.
Yeah, I do. I feel like there's not as much of a chance now people will just be, like, ejected from the tournament. Now we've made it all through the first round robin with our teams intact.
Give or take.
Well, like, let's face it, no one's quit. So we've made it through the first round robin, and no one's quit. I don't think anyone is going to at this point. We have the means to survive on the players that we've got. It would have to be like the most absurdly catastrophic results to lose a team now, as opposed to we could have a bunch of bad games in a row, and that would ruin us. Heck, I technically, as far as the score is concerned, have had a bunch of bad games in a row, but I could still beat any one of you if I have a relatively passable game.
Yeah, but you've got to, like, for example, if I played Josh, which is that week 3, something like that? But, like, if that was earlier, like, we could both go to 3-3, and that's 5th and 2nd place swapping. Like, apart from Ronith, who's clearly in front, there's not that much between 2nd and 5th.
No, there's not.
It's true.
I mean, Madam, you were 2nd for like a while, and then because I think you were 2nd for a while. Then I took 2nd, and then you dropped, like, we were joint 2nd or something, or joint, and then like you dropped 2 places just because of the cider week.
Yeah.
So it's like it's pretty close. I mean, man, how do you see the top 4 being then?
I reckon you or Ronith will be 1 and 2. I'm aiming for 3rd. But I want to be in the top 4. Like, obviously I want to be, but I think I realistically have a chance to be there if I play it right. Along with probably the Orcs. I think Greg is easier to knock out of there than Pete. And then when it comes to the actual playoffs, I reckon Orcs or Wood Elves will win it.
Interesting.
Because while Ronith is doing consistently well, I think in a one-off knockout match, someone can just cheese him.
I mean, that's true.
Like overall, he's doing quite well because his team's quite resilient and stuff. But you can probably elf bullshit him in a one-off match.
It's true, but additionally, he could also do what just happened to me in a one-off match. So I mean, yeah, but I can see what you're saying. All right, Ronith, how about you? How are you feeling about the standings for the when we hit playoffs?
Well, considering I have 4 wins, that's pretty likely that I will at least get into top 4. I don't think there is any way for me to not get up there.
Lose every
there is.
game.
If you lose every, like, it's still not confirmed. You're not if you lose every game and like you.
Yeah, but someone will not have enough wins.
Yeah, Dan. If Dan wins every game and you lose every game, you go out of top 4.
Which would be hilarious.
Yeah,
so hilarious.
Like it's not. I'm saying it's not likely, and I don't mean that as like a snub to Dan or anything like that. I just mean statistics.
Statistically, it's very likely that I'll get into the top 4. I definitely think that the elves will get to top 4 because elves, they score a lot. It's like I really want Dan to like come up and just
just like a fucking phoenix from the ashes of murder.
Yeah, just phoenix from the ashes, just beat.
I would love that to happen too.
I want you to beat like the top teams. That
would be you.
Yeah,
I want it so bad.
Yeah, no, I would love to I would love to Mighty Ducks the shit out of this.
I mean, technically, like, because it's a small league, even though like it's top 4 to make playoffs, but it is a small league, which means technically, to have a chance at winning it all, you just need to make 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will put it this way as well, like, not just because it went so bad.
If you beat me in the first week, we're both on 205.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's not true. You're on 204. Dan's on 204.
Yeah, sorry, I can't even count.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're both joint 5th.
Yeah.
And then who else plays in the first week?
Anyway, I was just gonna say, like, I am immediately swearing off of fouling because I'm so low down in the tables. I do have to win real hard to get ahead. It's now no longer in my interests to foul people, like, because I can't just say I can't just be like making the long play for best of 4. Unless I win everything dramatically, you're not going to see another foul from me because there's no bonus to it, which is a shame to me. But it's also like the least cunty decision I could make.
The league appreciates it.
Let's face it, like, yeah, I was fine doing it in the first round robin because it's like, I'm gonna play this guy again. I hope I can kill someone, but now it's like, whatever. I've missed my chances to kill someone, and doing it now is just fucking them and not bonusing me. If I got SPP, then maybe I'd still consider it.
I was just gonna say, Ronith, how are you feeling about your last 2 positions? Then, if you're saying,
it's like between, sure, of course I want Dan to be the rise from the ashes, but the real interesting part is how the current 3, 4, and 5, 5th position is going to change.
Yeah.
I cannot say anything on that. It's just that's going to be very
interesting. You think it's
interesting.
just going to be too close?
I don't think most of our games has been either very dicey. So I don't know.
It's Blood Bowl, though,
I can't,
really.
yeah, exactly. That's Blood
Sure,
Bowl, but
sure.
I can't make any predictions out of this because most of our teams, except I have gotten a huge bank of SPP, so we can start making predictions of you have a stacked team, while the rest of you have a couple of guys leveled up, and I don't think you guys have enough leveled up guys to this team is very good at this and stacked or anything like that. So I think it's just going to be just a normal Blood Bowl match, and it's going to be either way.
Okay. Pete, how about you? How are you feeling for the long term?
I'm hoping I get a couple of better games from not diced so much, but otherwise I think the leaderboard's going to stay very much the same. At the end of the 5th week, the leaderboard will be roughly the same. I think Madden and Dan are taking some risky chances to get some more wins under the belt, which is admirable. But and I think they could be in with a shot. But I think overall the leaderboard is going to stay roughly the same.
Okay. Greg, I don't
All
think you
right.
gave your predictions.
I'm betting heavily on the table flips. It's going to be Josh, me, Pete, Dan. That's the order.
You think maybe I won't have enough wins to hit 4th, but Madden will get so crushed that he'll quit.
Yeah. But also Ronith wins no games, and just is.
I am not looking forward to playing Ronith. I play Ronith in the last week again, and it's just not going to be good for me. I can tell.
Hey, I've bought Chaos in the last 2 weeks as well.
Yeah.
Literally, it's not going to go well for either of us.
We should just have a fucking pre-funeral.
Let's just meet up that weekend and just go drinking, mate.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. That sounds fucking great. All right. So, has everyone given their predictions
have
then?
them.
Apart from
I
me,
think
I was
so,
about to say, yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I reckon top 2 will probably stay the same because I don't think anyone is stacked. I don't think anyone has has been able to stack the team enough to beat the way me and Ronith have been playing yet.
I want to just dip in and say that I think you're going to take the first place because you're elves and you have a way higher chance of scoring. I don't know. I feel like you're going to overtake
I would like to take.
I
I would
mean-
like to take first place, but the issue is you're a win ahead of me, which means it's not just me win. I can't. I mean, in theory, I could take first place just based on me winning everything, but at the same time, if you also just win everything,
And
That's
then
true.
if it may very well come down to a final game between you guys. In fact, it's almost certain that you.
I mean,
No, listen, it's a best. You're right. It's a best of 4. It's not almost certain. Whoever, what the fuck, because
No,
you're
it's
both
not.
going to be in opposite sides of the bracket.
yeah. The main thing,
It could be you guys at the final game, and I
It
can't
could
wait.
be.
for that concept.
What I'm hoping. This is my dream. So this isn't the realistic predictions, but this is my dream predictions. Ronith stays first. I stay second. The Dan team makes it to 4th. Dan teams makes it to 4th, and then Pete takes 3rd. So it's Chaos, Wood Elves, Orcs, Chaos, and then Dan knocks Ronith out in the semi-final. I knock out Pete in the semi-final, and then I beat Dan in the final. That's my dream.
That would
Oh
be-
my god.
That's
Dan
really
in the
amazing.
finals. I would pay to
That
watch
is
that.
a pipe dream.
That is the pipe dream.
Tell you what, after it's all said and done, even if I don't make it, would you like me to come back for a finals showdown? Just go up against the winner and see what the fuck happens?
But the
Who knows?
losers
Like,
of
trying
the
to
losers of top 4. By the way, those who don't get into top 4, we should have a fight between the two guys.
A duel to the death.
Yeah,
I'm
just
down
who
for
gets
it.
the absolute last place.
Anyway,
I like how you
I
say
think
you're
the
down
realist-
for it as though you're going to be there.
I'm almost.
my realistic prediction is the leaderboard doesn't change. The only change I actually see realistically in the leaderboard is I think Pete can take 3rd.
Maybe, yeah.
That's the only thing I see changing. I reckon it'll be Chaos, Wood Elves, Orc, Lizardman rather than Lizardman, Orc. That's it. Although I don't. I think that's how it's gonna go. I mean, does anyone else have any sort of closing thoughts or final thoughts on how we see the rest of the league going, or anything else they really kind of want to say about it before we wrap up?
All I hope is that Big Doug is dead by the finals.
Or becomes amazing.
That would be so.
I'd rather he died.
I think we can all say it would be nice if Big Dog wasn't around anymore.
He has.
I mean, to be fair, I was praying that Illidan would stop being useful, and he started being useful.
Could you wish that?
It took
just
3 games
feel
for
some good
Illidon't to be
things
useful,
like
2 of
that?
which never hit the internet. Let me point that out, yeah?
No, Illidon't was useful in all the games that didn't hit the internet.
But it's like he time traveled, go back in time, train.
I had
and
like
then
time
came
trainer.
back. Yeah. And came back from the time that never was.
Yeah. I know. I think it's going to be really interesting. So, I mean, that pretty much concludes the wrap-up for Week 5. That's the first round robin entirely done. 1 round robin left to go. So, in 5 weeks' time, you guys are going to see the top 4 going into the playoffs. And then playoffs is going to be it's going to be your standard knockout affair. I'm not sure if it's going to be a best of in the things or not, because you can set it to be like bests of. So I don't know if it'll be single match elimination or if it'll be best of 3 elimination or something. We'll work it out closer to the time. But yeah, it'll keep I'm just happy that the league is still like Manon said earlier. The middle of the pack is still super close together, and it's like no one is out of this. Even Danon 104 is not out of this.
Yeah, because what's 3rd and 4th? Like 2-1-2.
Yeah.
Right?
Third and 4th are 2-1-2. 5th is 2-0-3, and 6th is 1-0-4. So it's like.
Yeah, it's really not that far off. And what are you at?
I'm 3-0-2,
Josh?
Ronith is 4-0-1.
Yeah.
So even I'm just a win ahead of you. Yeah, you getting. If I lose
even
my first
Ronith isn't safe.
No, if I lose my first week and Lizardmen or Orcs win their first week, you overtake me because you have a draw.
Yeah.
So it's like.
You are the only draw of the season right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one draw.
That's it. It's the only time.
And that is what's going to put us ahead of you losers.
Honestly, very well could. It's the 1 point difference that could break an entire thing open, so yeah.
We did it, Pete.
Yeah!
We broke the system.
Tactics.
Alright, so yeah, that has been the Week 5 roundup. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will catch you next time. Enjoy the matches. Hopefully they'll be good.
Peace out.
Coach!
Bye.